Hello guys, I am back. I am trying for a second time. I got a little error message last time, but I'm hoping this time it works. So hello and welcome Arlene and Donna and Christina. Oh, I see all kinds of people. Hi. Hello guys. All right, I'm still playing with this tripod I got for Christmas. So I think it's working. Hello, Arlene. It is good to see everyone. It is Wednesday night and things have kind of wound down here for the evening. Hello, Miss Vicky. And I thought I would pop on and share how our arrow guide was working for us this week. So real quick, I just wanted to, hello, Lila. Hello, Cassidy. Is it Cassidy? I think it's Cassidy, Cass. I'm Mary, and let's see. Hi, Christina. I am a blogger, and this is my website. It also has a Facebook page at Not Before 7, just this part. It's also my Periscope handle, and I am a homeschooling mama of 4 kids. They are 13, 11, almost 9 next week. So I'm going to go ahead and start saying 9 and 6. And one of the things we use in our homeschool is the Brave Writer guides. She has Boomerang and she has the Arrow. And the Arrow is the one I'm going to talk about tonight. It's for 3rd through 6th graders. And it is a literature guide. And in it, it provides copywork passages each month and discussion for literary elements as well as grammar. And I wanted to show you guys how that was working for us. And thank you, Vicki. I love this necklace. I got it from one of those home shopping, kind of like Creative Memories with scrapbooking. It's a jewelry party that I went to, and it was just kind of one of those simple ones. I'm wearing it with my favorite graphic tee. I'll show you my favorite tee. This is just heart, and it says full, and I love this shirt. And this necklace is just perfect. It makes like anything just a little more special, and it's a simple thing. So yes, okay, Quiver of Arrows. We actually did the quiver last year. That was fantastic. That was a lot of fun. This year we are using the Arrow, and I have loved learning how to incorporate grammar more holistically, organically, however you want to say it, into our language arts. Hello, Renee. So I'm going to show you how they did that, and this is the Arrow Guide for a book by Sharon Creech called Love That Dog. This book is very cool if you have never read it. The entire book is written as journal entries of an elementary school boy, and all of the journal entries are free verse poems. So he's in school, it is his school year, and they have learned about poetry in school, and all of the journal entries are responses to the poems he's reading or his assignments in school. So it just kind of goes through his school year. And yeah, the Arrow guides are fantastic. This book in particular, because he's doing a poetry unit in school, a lot of his poems are a response to a poem they read in class. And so in the back of the book, it includes the poems that he reads, his teacher reads in class. So that's Stopping by a Woods on a Snowy Evening, The Tiger, a poem called Dog, The Pasture, Street Music, The Apple, and Love That Boy. And those are really important and significant in the story, so you have to make sure to also read those with your students. But on to the grammar. So in week 2, I loved that Julie decided to use the concrete poem as copywork. So I'm looking for week 2 in here. Sorry. Okay. And this was kind of cool because this is not your normal passage to copy. This is the actual concrete poem that the boy writes. So he writes it in the shape of a dog. And you can see she challenges the kids with copying this poem, which is not going to be your normal passage. So we thought that was kind of fun. But of course, my kids right away, they asked, well, can we just write our own? They didn't want to copy that one. And while there's a lot of value in copying passages, I thought it was more than appropriate to say, yeah, go ahead, write your own. So we had also looked at the one in the back of the book. I'll show you that real quick so you kind of see where they're getting the ideas. But the one he had read in class with his teacher is the apple. So this one is shaped like an apple, and you see the word stem, and then it's apple, and we've got the words crunchy and juicy in there, red. Somewhere in here a worm appears, and it says like yuck worm, yuck worm, yuck worm. There it is. It's somewhere in here we have a worm. So it's kind of a cute little poem. So my kids immediately wrote their own. So I'll show you what they came up with and then show you how we then incorporate grammar into all of this so it happens very naturally. This is my daughter's poem. They are very into Minecraft and the Game Night 999 series. So this is her poem for the Nether Star. And this is block of diamond, block of diamond. All right. Oh, sorry. What is it? The source. It's the source. In the center of the source is the Nether Star. Obsidian, glass, this is the source, and then down the side it says hot, 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 hot. And my son's poem looks like this. So this is Steve. He is the main character in Minecraft. We're still working on some spelling here, but we have body, leg, there's wood here because he's holding a wood pickaxe, and we have his arm and his hair and eyes and mouth. Now, what the guide suggested, there's a lot of suggestions actually in the guide, is to look at these poems now and talk about nouns and adjectives. Yeah, Minecraft gets them all. Nouns and adjectives and verbs. And all of the poems have nouns. So we talked about how body parts are nouns. We reviewed our definition of nouns, and we looked for nouns in each of the poems. And then we talked about adjectives. Do we have adjectives in these poems? Now, my son's didn't. His entire poem is comprised of nouns. So we looked for adjectives. My daughter had the word hot in hers. We talked about the definition of adjectives simply because I'm trying to do a grammar topic each month, and this month is adjectives. So that fit really nicely to review our definition and then look at the poems. And then we looked at the Yellow Dog poem, which has nouns, adjectives, and it's the only one that has verbs. So we talked about the use of verbs in this one. So you can see sniff, sniff, sniff is here, and slobber, slobber, slobber is here. And all the rest, we mainly have nouns, though we have yellow here for an adjective. We have yellow. And we have wag, wag, wag for a verb. So for me, that was just a great example of how these guides have helped us to incorporate grammar through literature instead of just looking at a workbook, which there can be value in just doing some workbook pages and memorizing definitions.
Should I get the voice?
No, honey, they'll come home when they're ready. But instead looking more holistically at grammar and how it's used and why authors might choose to use certain words. So what I'm hoping to do as part of this now is tomorrow telling my kids to go back to their poems and see if they could add in an adjective or add in a verb that would be appropriate in their creation. Or maybe we'll just make new ones because sometimes, kids can be really resistant to changing what they originally did, and I want to respect that if they're happy with it. So another alternative that was actually in the guide is to write some other ideas they could write poems about and to put them on the board and underneath together to brainstorm words they could use. So maybe we put like pickup truck up on the board and then write noun, verb, and adjective and have them help me list words in each category that would go with pickup truck, and then they could use those to write the poem. So many great things going on, all from our literature selection. So from the book that we're reading this month, We Can Spend This Week, and we're addressing poetry and writing poetry. We're addressing nouns, adjectives, verbs, so many things going on. And so I just wanted to share that because I know a lot of people are curious about how the arrow guides work. I'm making sure there's nothing else in there. And of course, she guides you much more than I am through the discussion and has a lot more in there than I'm even using. But I just pick and choose the stuff that works best for us. So that is what I wanted to share with you guys tonight. And all of it is actually typed up. I actually typed it up before I did my Periscope for the first time. So you can find it all on my blog. It's already published. For this particular month, I am actually reading the book to them just because they really like that. My first and third grader, I'm usually always reading the book to them. Sometimes my fifth grader goes and finishes it on her own, and she'll go up and read it, but she enjoys reading it with us. So that kind of depends. But this month I read it to them, especially with the poetry. I really enjoyed the discussions we were having, and for me that's part of it. And when they're reading it on their own, we can't always have those same juicy discussions. Somebody asked about finding the guides used. I'm not sure about that. I'm not even sure with copyright on that, but I do know that yes, I was just going to mention that Lila said. There is the Homeschool Buyers Co-op. If you type that into Google, which she just wrote, I know that I have purchased the Boomerang guides. You can pick any 5 titles, and I think it was like $24.50, and it was digitally. So Renee, if you check out the Homeschool Buyers Co-op, sometimes you can buy past issues and you get to pick and choose the titles, which is what's nice about that. And you can do like 5 of them or 10 of them, and it's a lot less expensive. For the Arrow guides, I actually do sign up to do the yearly Arrow, so you get a decent deal, but it can be kind of expensive. It's become our main language arts. It's really all I buy for language arts. So that's why I have the one from this year, Love That Dog. That's one of the current titles, but you can buy past titles at the Homeschool Buyers Co-op. The difference between the Arrow and the Boomerang, the Arrow guides are for 3rd to 6th grade level books, and the Boomerang are for 7th through 12th grade. And I actually do both, but for the Boomerang, I have a 7th grader, and 7th through 12th is a really big range. So some of the titles you have to, think about if they're appropriate for a younger kid. So I didn't actually fill out the entire, I didn't subscribe to her year plan. I picked individual titles. So that's where I got them on the Homeschool Buyers Co-op. So, oh wow, we're off on all kinds of topics. Alicia, for writing for my oldest child, I have tried so many things. We actually did 2 years of IEW, and that was not for us, but there was a lot of value in those 2 years. This year, and then we did a year where we just did Brave Writer. I had Jot It Down and Partnership Writing. They're fantastic. It was hard for me because I felt a little scattered. I wasn't as good at Brave Writer as I wanted to be. So this year we are actually using Rightshop. I happen to have it right here. I can pull it over. We are using Rightshop. Yeah, we do try tons of things. And I am learning to use my Brave Writer philosophy to modify that. So Rightshop, it's actually 2 years. What I like about it is it's 16 lessons, I think. Yeah, it's hard. I'm not liking anything. And it's 16 lessons, yes. And so really we can make it through the year doing 1 lesson every 2 weeks, so that doesn't feel too fast. And it's working well, and I'm really modifying it a lot. In fact, I was going to do a scope on that, is how I'm modifying partnership writing using my Brave Writer techniques. I've actually written Julie before in the middle of one of the Rightshop assignments where I was really frustrated, and she helped me with modifying it some. So that's worked for us this year, but I haven't been really happy about that. So Writer's Workshop, is Writer's Workshop like online, or is that something different? Or are you talking about Rightshop? That one. And we also did Kids Write Basic last year also. So we did do Kids Write Basic, and that worked well, and I learned a lot. Okay. Yeah, what I've done to make things more fun, I guess this is actually my scope for another day, but what I did is like this one, we're doing, if you have Rightshop, we're doing the lesson where you have to write how to explain a process. So it's a paragraph that's kind of like a how-to paragraph, like how to make peanut butter and jelly, or how to tie your shoes. I mean, you're supposed to explain a process in a paragraph. So that's okay. That's, I guess, what Periscope is for. One time in one of her daily emails, Julie had something in there about writing a recipe as a warm-up, but she shared that maybe you could be creative with it, and instead of writing a recipe as a like cooking recipe, maybe write a recipe for a great vacation, or a recipe for a really great day, or a recipe on how to be a good friend. So what I did, in fact, I still have it on the board from the writing class I was teaching today, is I told the kids, instead of just writing a how-to paragraph, we brainstorm. You're going to have to, my messy board, look at the red, not the green. The green was something else I was doing. But we talked about they could write how to make a pizza or food, how to draw something. Oh, we said how to really irritate someone. So how to really irritate your mother, or how to really irritate your sister. How to have a perfect day, how to have a perfect sunny day or a rainy day, how to have the recipe for a great vacation, how to survive camping, how to conquer summer boredom, how to be a great friend. Could either write it in recipe format, like here are the ingredients, and then do step by step, or they could write it in a paragraph form. So I guess the way that I've modified Rightshop is I brought the Brave Writer ideas into the weekly assignments. What I like about Rightshop is there's those tasks. Like today we did all the worksheets on turning infinitives into participles. So we took to skip and put skipping, and then we tried to use participle phrases at the beginning of our writing. So I like that it still incorporates some of those writing techniques like IW did, but without the checklist that forces you to use every single technique in every paragraph. That's why IW drove me crazy. I couldn't do it anymore. The writing felt so forced. But I do like her learning the techniques, which is why I've stuck with Rightshop for now, because I feel like we're getting that more traditional worksheets that have the techniques like the participle phrases or the paired adjectives starting a sentence. But I've taken those assignments and modified them. I'm looking for it. Here it is. So that actually, Alicia, because I've wondered how this is going to go. This is the one we were supposed to be doing today, the explaining a process. And it gives you some, little paragraph about laundry time and Nick explaining the process. So instead of doing what they suggested here, I showed you up on the board is kind of how we. So that's kind of my best answer is I'm taking what I learned from Brave Writer and all the things I love about Brave Writer. Sorry, I'm playing with my tripod. And I'm trying to incorporate it in the Rightshop and be a more flexible, fun teacher and come up with ways to take what's been given in Rightshop and make it more fun. So Julie sends out those daily emails and I just file them. I just look at them, keep them in my inbox and constantly refer to them. So I'm using some of those as the writing assignments instead. And that's what that one was. It was called like recipes. So if you keep them, you could search your folders and find the one for recipes. So that will be another scope one day, but that is what I do. And Alicia, I think, is your oldest in 8th grade? I think that's what you said in your scope today, actually, that I learned, that you have an oldest in 8th grade. So I think ours are similar ages. Okay. Yeah, it's hard. And I get a little scared because we haven't done a lot of essay writing and that kind of thing. But I keep believing Julie when she tells me to trust the process and that we will get there. And I think in high school we'll probably take her essay writing class and hope for the best. So you are welcome, ladies. Again, if you have any questions about the grammar stuff, it's on the blog. And this sounds like it would be a good Periscope topic too, I can share some of the other ways I've modified Rightshop. I haven't looked at Susan Wise Bowers. We did her Writing with Ease back in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, Writing with Ease. And at least at that grade level, it was not working for me. But she is a fantastic woman and a wonderful writer. And I am sure that anything she wrote would be amazing. So in fact, I'm going to write that on my list to look up tonight. And just look at what she's done, because she didn't even have anything that I liked for the older kids, I think, at that time. Or she maybe had just written the younger ones, and that's what I'm thinking. Oh, thanks, Renee. That's really nice. Thank you. My daughters are in 10th using Help for High. Oh, that's the online, or that's the Brave Writer class, right? Oh, good. Is it going well then, Marmalade Mama? Writing with skill. Okay. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, Lila. Somebody just asked, could you use it in a co-op? I think you could, and Julie actually has copyright for co-op where everyone can get a discount if everyone buys the guides, or she is totally fine with someone teaching. I think she explained this in a scope where if you are the primary teacher at the co-op and you buy the guide, as long as you're not distributing it and you're just using it for ideas and discussions, she put out there in a scope one time that she was fine with that. Because we do that with my Boomerang book club. It's only me and I think 2 other moms who actually buy the Boomerang guides. I do not distribute them to the book club. I do not give them the copywork passages or anything like that. I do that on my own. But when we get together, I use some of the talking points in the book discussion, as well as stuff that I find on my own. So yeah, she gave a scope. I think I'm representing her correctly. I hope I am. Double check with her if you're doing it in a co-op setting, but you can certainly ask her about that. But you should be allowed to use the guide for information as the teacher. Just don't distribute it. Oh, Jessie, yay, Bravescope and Alliance. Okay, I just joined the Alliance, so I'm hoping to see more people in there. All right, Jessie, yay, I'm glad you're here live too. I'm writing it down. I try to keep track of all the handles. It's hard. Okay, I'm really glad to hear that Help for High School was really good, even without a lot of formal writing in the past. So that's definitely something I'll be looking at, because it looks like my oldest is going to stay home for high school. We're still determining that. So I think I addressed all the questions. Was there anything else someone wrote that I missed? I hate to leave it out there, but I think sometimes they just start flying and I miss them. I know you guys understand, because if you scope, you're faced with that same dilemma. I think that's everything. So thank you for tuning in tonight and for this great discussion. Yes, this is a really great book because it's not intimidating. It was a really easy read, and it's got so much because you can incorporate poetry and everything going on. I think it's going to be awesome. And you're welcome, Alicia. I really appreciated your organization scope. I'm hoping to do an organization scope tomorrow or the next day, but I'm one of those people not all that organized. So I will show you how I try to make sense of my chaos sometime later. So great. I'm glad you're sold. Go for it. It's a great book. Again, if you need any of this information, I actually typed it up before scoping. So it is on the blog, which is rare for me. I usually find it so much easier to get on here and talk, and I never get around to typing it up. So you can find the blog there. So thanks, ladies. This was so much fun. It's so fun to have a nice little crew all pop in. And I will see you guys tomorrow or the next day. Bye-bye.